everyone. I am Megan, or otherwise known as Aunt Megs, and I'm the founder of my freeze drying company. I originally started calling Aunt Megs freeze dried foods because I did intend on doing foods, not just the candy and the fruits. And this is a little bit of a part of it, but it's the back end of it. This is Melody, and this is currently the only way she'll sleep today. So this is what we're doing. I wanted to show you a little peek into freeze drying and what I've been doing. So I live in Florida, and every year we have hurricane season, which we're in as of a couple days ago. Happy June. And I have decided my family would like 2 weeks of MREs, meals that are ready, where we just add hot water and we're ready to go, or in some cases cold water. I've decided that I want it to be fast, I want it to be nutritious, I want it to be easy, and I want it's not all of it to be soup. When I originally started looking at what I could make for my family that wasn't loaded with preservatives, it wasn't loaded with things we don't normally eat, I really couldn't find an affordable option out there. I was at the time on a very strict paleo diet, so that limited me even more, and that is part of the reason why I bought a freeze dryer, was to have the preservative free meals that are ready for my hurricane stash for my family. We tend to be gluten free, not 100%, but like a little bit less, so, and we don't do your typical American diet, so that's why I started freeze drying. I have done, I'm working on, this is the last of it, 2 weeks full of freeze-dried food ready to go, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I wanted to share a little peek into what I'm doing and how I'm doing it, to give you an idea of what you may want to do for your family, and a couple basic freeze-dry rules as you prepare for your family. One of the things that I'm doing is yogurt. Super easy to reconstitute, just add cold water and it's ready to go. It may take a couple minutes, but that's just ready to go like that. I literally just pour this onto my pan and freeze dry it, pack it with my freeze dryer bags that I have, and ready to go. I will add freeze dried fruit to this as well, just to make it there's more variety, more nutrients and stuff. And then I'm going to research it after I turn this off. I'm going to research how to long-term store my granola to have that ready as well. So that's one of the first meals that I have. And then I also have freeze-dried fruit smoothies, which I mixed my berries, my yogurt, my protein powder in my blender, blended it all up, and then poured it right on the pan, freeze-dried that, and then packed that away. I can either just eat it like a bar, as long as I drink plenty of water, because it'll reconstitute in my stomach, or I can reconstitute it with cold water and drink it as a smoothie. So those are some of my breakfast ideas. And other ideas that I have that I've freeze-dried is freeze-dried scrambled eggs. I cooked them, scrambled them, like with the salt, pepper, ham, cheese, let them cool, freeze-dried them. Those I'll just add hot water. I've also freeze-dried raw eggs, because my purpose behind making them that way is so that I can cook them as I want. They're mixed, so it's the yolk and whites together, and I've got the ratios all figured out. I've got 6 eggs per bag, so if I just want to do 6 eggs, I have the math figured out on my bag, which brings up a rule of freeze drying, is knowing how you want to use it when it's reconstituted. You can freeze dry raw food. You can freeze dry raw meat. You can freeze dry raw eggs. You can freeze dry raw milk. You can freeze dry just your raw things, but you gotta know and mark it properly, because that's how it'll turn out when you reconstitute it. It will be raw meat when you reconstitute it, so you're gonna have to cook it. it'll be raw eggs when you reconstitute it. So you're gonna have to treat it properly. And you will treat the food as if it's its fresh unit once it's reconstituted. I have freeze-dried breast milk, and once you add water, it has a 3-year shelf life in the bags, and once you reconstitute it, you treat it as if it was fresh breast milk. So that's some of the rules behind there that I want to throw in there. I did do, let's see, some raw eggs and ham for breakfast, scrambled eggs, frozen hash browns. I'm gonna do those in a minute. I'll dump those on the pan. Now they're pre-parboiled. I bought them pre-made. If I was gonna make them fresh, I would prepare them however I would prepare them for the freezer. You can't just shred some raw potatoes because they'll turn black. But if you parboil them to freeze them, or blanch them, or whatever, however you would prepare your produce for the freezer to freeze for long term is how you would prepare your food for the freeze dryer. So I'm getting ahead of myself, but this large bag of potatoes, I'm gonna make some mashed potatoes and freeze dry that. I could blanch them and then have them that way, and then just finish cooking them once I reconstituted them. It just depends on how I want to use it. So I'm going to emphasize that greatly is decide how you want to use your product, and that will determine how you prep it. And that'll come with our, as we're deciding what you want to freeze dry, I am more than happy to help you make out a plan and decide how to prepare it.